Hannah. I work for the BBC here in London. I know a lot of people here, but I only have a few close friends. I keep in touch with friends by texting, emailing, and using social networking sites like Facebook. For me, a friend is someone I can trust and depend on, but also someone who makes me laugh. Today, we're asking people about their friends.
I've got a nice circle of friends. They're not too many, but I like to keep in touch with both old friends and new friends.
I've got a small circle of close friends.
I have a few close friends, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of close friends. I've met them through college. I actually moved over here with 3 friends, so we all live together.
I've got close friends. I'm not the type of person to have lots of close friends. I like to have really close friends, and then I've got friends outside that as well.
Yeah, I do have quite a few close friends.
I'm quite lucky. I have quite a large group of close friends. I have a number of close friends.
How do you keep in touch with them?
I keep in touch in all sorts of ways, like telephone, email. Sometimes I might just call around their house.
And the thing that we have in common is that we're all doing a similar kind of work, so we network within that circle quite a bit. Email, telephone.
Facebook, like mainly, and then MSN. I'm on MSN a lot, I'm on Facebook. I go to see them, but mostly texting and using the internet, like social networking sites like Facebook.
Mainly at the moment through Facebook. I'm always on Facebook.
Usually by mobile phone, I send text messages and make phone calls.
Skype even, my family, mainly.
We live all over the place, so the internet is the major way we do that. Email or networking sites.
Normally through the internet, but I like to write letters very often.
What do you look for in a friend?
In a friend, I'd look for somebody who's quite trustworthy. I guess somebody who's quite creative like myself. Somebody who likes going out.
Honesty is probably the first one. If they're not honest with me, then they can't be my friend.
Reliable and loyal. And fun and easygoing, I guess.
Sense of humor, I think.
Mainly like the personality, and if they have the same interests as me.
Mostly it's people who can make me laugh or who I can share experiences with.
Loyalty, honesty, creativity.
Someone I can relate to, someone I feel comfortable with, someone I can be myself with, someone who's easy to talk to.
The qualities I look for in a friend, they have to be funny, they have to be kind and sincere, they have to be honest, and they have to be about this tall, otherwise I get intimidated.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I work for the BBC in London as a researcher. I've learned a lot of skills in my job, and I've made some good friends at work. Sometimes my job gets too busy and I don't get enough time to relax or even to tidy my flat. What do you do?
I'm an administrator in the economics department of a university.
I'm an accountant.
I work in advertising.
I'm a filmmaker.
I'm a mechanical engineer for an energy company in Australia.
I work in an office.
I'm a singing teacher. I teach singing lessons.
I'm a private investigator. I run a private investigation company in Germany.
I am a charity worker, so I travel to different places in the world.
Well, I'm semi-retired now, but I worked for many years for a publishing company, book publishing.
I am the director of sales for a software company called Beeline.
I'm a college professor. I teach communication and journalism at Drexel University.
I work as an expedition leader.
I'm a fashion photographer and I work for a fashion agency. I work part-time in a music store.
Where do you work?
I work in London.
It's University College London, also known as UCL.
I work from home in central London.
I work about 8 hours drive from where I live in Brisbane.
I work in London.
I mostly work in Berlin.
The head office is in London, so although I work mostly from home now, I travel down to London maybe 2 or 3 times a month.
I work here in the City of London.
I work from home, and then I also work in schools.
We mainly operate in continents like Asia, Africa, South America, so I spend a lot of my time abroad. Maybe about 2/3 of my time is spent outside the United Kingdom.
What are the best things about your job?
The best things about my job are the different people that I meet from all around the world.
I get to travel and lots of different people every day, and every day is different.
The
flexibility.
The variety of work that I have, meeting people throughout the day.
Best thing is that no day is ever really the same.
I get to be hands-on with everything.
Working with my colleagues and friends.
I've made some really good friends over the years, from the locals and natives, some of the local crews I work with.
Seeing people's faces when you do something for them and seeing little kids being very happy and laughing, and I really love that.
And the worst things?
The worst thing about my job is that it can get very stressful.
As much as I love my job, there are times when I need to take work home to meet deadlines. I'd say that's probably the only bad thing I can think of right now.
When you see people who are very poor and very sad and don't have much opportunity, and there is not much that they can do about it, and that hurts you a lot.
The worst thing about my job is the hours we work. We can be there until 10, 11 o'clock.
Long hours, it's tiring, and you're on call quite a lot of the time.
You never know what you're going to be doing from one day to the next, so sometimes it's hard to make plans.
Just the distance, being away from my family.
You miss family, you miss friends, so I think spending a lot of time outside the UK can have its disadvantages.
I like playing music and going to concerts in my free time. This weekend I'm going to a bar in North London to see my friend's band. What do you like doing in your free time?
I like to keep fit. I like to be very active. I like to do a lot of sport. I also like to see a lot of friends. I like to go to the theatre. I like to go and see plays.
I like to read books about crime novels, for example, and I like to go running. And obviously I can't run when I am at work, so in the free time I like to do some exercise.
Well, I have 2 small children, so I don't have much free time. But seeing friends is one of my great pleasures.
I like coming up here to London to see galleries and theatre and things like that. I like eating and drinking a lot, sometimes in restaurants and sometimes either having friends around for that or going to other people's houses.
I enjoy jazz, so quite like having friends around to listen to some jazz or go out to a jazz club.
I like to do many things in my free time. I love to read. I love to study different things. I'm studying oil painting and different languages now.
I enjoy reading, enjoy playing the guitar. I also enjoy creative writing and watching films.
What are you going to do this weekend?
This weekend there's a large camping trip of all my son's school friends, and we're all going off camping, which is going to be very interesting.
This weekend I'm going to run a half marathon in Nottingham for the Robin Hood Festival and raising money for a charity.
I'm going to relax as much as possible after quite a hard week and quite a stressful week, so I'm going to possibly watch a film and do very little.
This weekend, I am going to try to relax a little. I just completed a long trip.
This weekend, I'm going to take my son to football. He plays in a local football team.
This weekend I am going to see some friends on Saturday night and have dinner at their house, and then I'm going to be welcoming some friends at our house on Sunday night.
I have a friend who it's her birthday, and I'm going to go to the birthday party on Saturday, and then on Sunday I'm going to go to a barbecue.
I have a full-time job, but I like learning new things in my spare time. At the moment, I'm studying Spanish. I'm enjoying it, but I'm finding it quite difficult. Today we're asking people about learning new things.
I'm learning to speak another language, actually. I'm learning French. I'm also learning to drive.
I'm learning to play golf at the moment. My husband and my son play golf, and when we go on holiday, I feel that I want to be able to play with them.
I'm learning to speak Spanish.
I am learning Arabic.
Well, I've been learning to play the guitar for about 50 years now, and it's a constant process, so still learning bits, yes.
I'm learning yoga at the moment, and I find it quite hard.
The courses I'm taking are training courses for leadership, negotiation, evaluation.
I'm learning Swahili.
At the moment, I'm learning to paint and draw in evening classes for adults.
I'm studying part-time after work.
I've just learned how to do a lot of kayaking.
I am learning how to design a website at the moment.
I'm in a choir, so singing, I guess, is pretty much the only thing I'm doing at the moment.
At the moment, I'm taking up a new instrument. It's a traditional instrument from Zimbabwe, and it's called the mbira. Let me show you.
What's the most difficult thing you've ever learned?
Patience, I think.
Arabic.
Courage.
Learning a language is particularly difficult for myself, so probably learning the Spanish.
The most difficult thing I've ever learnt is Mandarin Chinese. I did it in evening classes a few years ago and I found it really, really difficult.
Probably capoeira, which is a Brazilian dance, martial art, fight thing. It's a combination of all of these things. And yes, that was very difficult because there were lots of unusual body movements to learn.
Learning to drive was the most difficult thing.
Well, I learned some Sanskrit, and that's got 9 cases, 2 more than Latin. It's quite difficult by most standards.
I think I found French very hard at school.
I learned to play the trumpet at school. That was pretty difficult. And maybe learning to drive. I hated learning to drive.
I've spent a lot of time living in different countries, so there isn't one place I think of as home. I've lived in Scotland and Poland and China. I love going to new places and learning about new cultures. Today, I'm asking people about travel.
I love travel. It's one of my passions.
Well, I enjoy it a lot. I have travelled to India several times. I live there, and I've lived here, and I've been to Istanbul once, and I enjoyed that very much as well.
I've done quite a bit of travelling as well, holidays and stuff. I think it's good experience.
You get to meet different people coming from different backgrounds. I think that's really important to get an understanding.
It's always just nice to get out and experience a different culture and different lifestyle.
I get very excited about the thought of going to most countries, any country.
I love to travel to different countries.
Absolutely love travelling. I've been travelling for about 2.5 years solid now.
I've been to Turkey, I've been to Egypt, I've been to Malta.
I work as an expedition leader, and so I actually operate in different countries around the world, many places outside the United Kingdom.
What do you like about travelling?
I think you mature a lot when you travel. You learn just completely different experiences to what you're used to at home.
I like the airport experience, I love that.
I like the arrival more than the travelling.
To see art especially, we love to see theatre in other countries.
You see some of the most beautiful scenery around the world which you wouldn't experience in other countries.
I just really like getting out there and experiencing a different culture, getting far away from, what we're used to in Australia, meeting new people.
The anticipation of being in a new place, of seeing very different things, of hearing a different language, of eating different food, everything that travel has to offer.
What don't you like?
I don't like long flights.
I suppose plane journeys aren't always the most exciting of things.
Flying, I don't particularly like flying, but it's a necessity when you live in Ireland,
I suppose the biggest problem I have with travelling is living out of a suitcase.
In all honesty, I actually see the whole travel as an adventure in itself. So, like when I was backpacking and we ran out of money or we were in dangerous situations, I actually quite enjoyed that.
We spend a lot of time outside the United Kingdom, and the disadvantage of that is that you tend to miss families and friends and miss out on normal things in life. So being outside the United Kingdom for 2/3 of the year, I'd say that's the main disadvantage.
The hardest thing for me is that I am handicapped, and so sometimes getting around, especially very old cities, is very difficult.
My wife's usually late for getting to the airport. It wasn't until I got married I actually started missing flights.
Often, it's hard to find the time to exercise when you have a full-time job. Lots of my friends belong to gyms, but I prefer to go running outside to keep fit. How about you? What do you do to keep fit?
I do quite a few things actually. I go to the gym quite regularly, I go for runs. I'm also a little bit involved in the sport of rowing, so I'm down there quite a bit. I actually coach rowing as well.
I have 3 children and I work full time, and I don't have a lot of time to do any extra organised exercise.
The main thing I do is I do practice yoga, so that incorporates different positions as well as meditation and different breathing techniques.
Usually I ride my bike, like I've got here, and I go to the gym more or less 3 to 4 times a week, and I also watch what I eat.
I dance and I do yoga, and I just try to be as active as possible, enjoy nature also.
I try and walk everywhere because I don't really enjoy running.
I have quite a hectic lifestyle as a musician, but I do try to keep fit, going to the gym, yoga classes, Pilates classes, sometimes running, and generally keeping active.
I'm a police officer, so I have quite an active job. I can spend 8 or 12 hours doing foot patrol, walking around the streets of London, so I suppose that keeps me quite fit.
What other things would you like to do to keep fit?
I'd love to get involved with some team sports. I really enjoy sort of the team aspect of sport. Particularly, I think I'd like to get into hockey.
I'd quite like to learn how to play tennis properly. It's probably one of the only sports that I'm interested in. It's something that I would watch on TV.
I would like to run, but my legs are not running legs, so I prefer to cycle.
I would like to learn to rock climb.
I would actually like to join a rowing club, but unfortunately I don't have the time and it is a little bit expensive.
I really enjoy getting out of London for the weekend and going sailing.
When I was at university, I got quite into swing dancing, which is very like jive 1940s jazz dancing. I'd quite like to take that up again because it's an easy way of keeping fit and you meet a lot of people.
Do you do anything that isn't very healthy?
I have a bit of a sweet tooth. I love dessert and I love to eat sweet things.
I definitely drink too much coffee and I do like chocolate as well.
Eating late is really bad for you, so I try and avoid that as much as I can, although it does happen quite regularly.
I love chocolate and I probably eat too much of it.
Because of my shift work, I eat a lot of fast food, especially in the early hours of the morning.
Gosh, I don't know, I'm a vegetarian. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drink caffeine.
I eat far too many crisps and chocolate and biscuits. And because I bake, I also eat a lot of cake.
I feel good about life at the moment. I live in a fantastic city and I'm really happy with my job at the BBC. Tell me about you.
I have a fabulous partner, 4 beautiful children, a great job, and I live in London.
I'm enjoying my life at the moment because I have a good circle of friends, I have a job that I really enjoy, and I've just bought a flat.
I enjoy living in the UK and have been over here for about 9 years, so I do enjoy my life.
Yeah, I'm about to go on holiday, so I am quite, looking forward to that.
I'm happy with, where I am. I've just graduated for 2 weeks.
My life's great. I've got 2 lovely children, great husband, and I've just finished paying for my house.
I've got a career opportunity going on, progressing a bit, started a new one, just changed the career a couple of years back, started a family as well, bought a house, things like that. Things are going well, so I'm so far happy.
Is there anything you'd like to change?
Eventually, yeah, not at the moment. Things are going all right.
No, not at all, not at the moment, no. A little bit more travel.
I'd like to be richer.
Nothing that I can think of.
I'd like to go on more holidays.
I would like to get into graphic design. That's something that I'd really want to change.
I'd like to be able to afford to join a gym so that I could get fitter.
My life has changed a lot in the past 10 years. I've lived in 3 different countries. How about you? How has your life changed in the last few years?
My life has changed quite a bit in the last 2 years, specifically in that I had a 5-year break from work, put my career on hold, and returned back to full-time employment.
I've recently had a young girl, a daughter, my wife's given birth, and yeah, that's a big change in your life.
I'm living in a new area that I hadn't lived in before, so it's completely new to that part of London. So that's probably the biggest change.
10 years ago, I was a student, and so I used to get up late, and I used to have lots of time, and now I have to go to work.
My life has changed. I've developed more of an established career. I've moved around quite a bit since I moved to the United Kingdom.
Yeah, changed in every possible way, really. Career-wise, I made a big decision of changing my career, coming to HSBC. And then personal life, got married, had my first child, bought my first property.
I've had a family, and so I don't see so much of my friends anymore. We do a lot of family things, and a lot of my friends have moved out of London, so we don't get together so much anymore.
I spend a lot of time shopping. I like buying shoes and books. I buy things online, but I also like visiting street markets. How about you? How do you feel about shopping?
I don't really like it very much on the whole. I find it can get very stressful in big crowds, especially in London.
It depends on my mood, but generally, yes, I enjoy it.
I think it's one of the best things to do ever.
I like shopping when I can afford it, but I can't afford it most of the time.
I love shopping. It's a good way to spend a day. You can have fun, go out with your friends or family and just come home with some new things.
Lovely, I enjoy it very much. It's great, gives you a buzz.
I have mixed feelings about shopping. Sometimes I'm in the mood and other times I can't bear the idea of shopping.
I love shopping because you find new things and you spend time with your friends or family, and yeah, it's good fun.
I hate shopping. I prefer shopping on the internet, where I can look at everything and have everything delivered to my house.
I love it and I hate it.
What I feel about shopping, I don't like shopping.
Where do you usually shop?
For clothes, I like the high street chains, and you find them in lots of places around London.
It's usually clothes shops, independent clothes shops.
Been to Harrods. Ta-ding! Harrods is really expensive, obviously, but it's just wonderful to go in there and see what they've got on offer and things like that.
I'd shop on eBay. I like eBay because you can find older things or very rare items.
Second-hand stores. I like vintage stores and markets and those sort of places.
If I have the money, I go for the more expensive designers, but usually just the mid-range.
I usually shop in large stores, like Selfridges.
I try to avoid the big department stores and find the small independent shops.
I usually shop in high street stores or vintage shops, because in vintage shops you can find rare things that nobody else has.
Because I live in Cape Town, I do most of my shopping in Cape Town, South Africa, but I come to Europe quite often during summertime, so I don't mind shopping in England, in London or in Italy.
Have you bought anything recently?
I have, actually. I bought a dress and I bought a telephone.
Yes, I bought a book to read on the train.
I bought myself a new coat.
The pair of trainers that I'm wearing at the moment I bought yesterday, so that's the most recent thing I bought.
I bought lots of things in the sale, like tops and skirts, and I bought a pair of shoes as well that I had my eye on for a while.
Yes, I've bought some very cheap trousers in the sales, which I'm very pleased about. I bought 2 pairs because when you find one pair that you like, you should always buy another.
I haven't, no, but my friend Natalie has.
Bought my sunglasses, they're Chanel, so they're quite expensive. That's today. The other week, though, I bought a Mimco handbag, which is also fairly expensive, but I think it's very nice.
I like being in the countryside, but I'm always happy to come back to the city. How about you?
I actually really love the countryside. I grew up on a farm.
I love being in London. I have loved my time in London, but as I'm getting older, I increasingly want to visit the countryside more and more.
It's nice, it's quiet, you can forget about the city.
I love it. I was brought up in the countryside.
I love being in the countryside. I love the quiet, I love the fresh air. It's great.
I love being in the countryside. I come from Hertfordshire, so although it's not
where I live isn't actually directly in the countryside. If you drive for 10 minutes, you're in it, and it's beautiful.
I love the countryside. It's a nice change to living in London, and I enjoy taking weekends out. I enjoy camping.
I enjoy the countryside because I've lived there for about 37 years. And particularly I enjoy gardening, growing a lot of vegetables.
The thing I like most about being in the countryside is watching animals and birds. How about you? Do you like wildlife?
Well, I'm an animal lover. I'm a vegetarian as well.
I like wildlife and animals. Since I was a little girl, I've always really liked foxes for some reason. And I know a lot of people don't, but foxes have always been my favourite animal.
I love wildlife. I really sort of enjoy things that you don't see every day. Enjoy sort of very exotic wildlife that I haven't seen before.
I like watching them on the telly.
I think animals are living beings and should be treated as so, should be treated with respect.
I like big cats. They're very graceful, they're very beautiful, and something I've always just had a fascination for me from an early age. I also quite like large snakes. A friend of mine used to keep them.
My nephew and niece have a guinea pig, which I love.
Are there any animals you're frightened of?
Snakes and scorpions. Just because I know that usually one bite could mean that's the end.
I don't like spiders. It's not really an animal, but I hate spiders.
I am very scared of spiders, and even though in Australia we get some very small but very dangerous spiders, I'm afraid of very big spiders.
I don't particularly like horses because they're big and they frighten our dog.
I'm not really frightened of any animals. I love them all.
There's nothing that scares me that I haven't got any memories of animals scaring me as a child.
I'm quite scared of sharks. I don't really like the sea, and so whales and animals such as that I don't really like. I suppose because it's the unknown, I just find it quite scary.
I've always enjoyed living in cities. I like the mix of people and all the different things that you can do. Not everyone feels like me though. Some people prefer the peace and quiet of the country. How about you? Do you enjoy city life?
No, I absolutely hate London. Much prefer the country.
Yes, I love city life. I mean, London's such a vibrant, active city. There's always lots of things to do. Where I live is very, very central and it's in a city, so it's what I'm used to. And I enjoy that I can get everywhere really easily.
I enjoy it. It suits me. I think it suits my personality.
I really enjoy living in London. It's a great place to be. There's lots of people around, lots of things happening. Where I live, there's lots of art shows and photographers.
I do like city life. I think London especially is very vibrant and there's always something going on.
What are the good things about living in a city?
London's such a large city, you can never tire of it really.
I think there's always something to do, always something to go and see, and lots of events and culture, and you can never be bored.
Obviously culture. I mean, live right next door to the Globe Theatre, the Tate Modern, so theatre is terrific. Huge choice of restaurants, of course.
The good things about living in the city is the tube, which is really amazing. It's cheap and it's really frequent.
I think transport is one of the best things. The fact that you can live probably miles away from your friends and you can all sort of get to the same place fairly easily and fairly quickly.
You're so central. Everywhere's close at hand. There's always lots of people around, so you feel quite safe.
What are the main problems in cities?
Traffic is horribly congested.
Sometimes it can be difficult to get around the city quickly, and that can be frustrating.
I think there's always a very much of a go-go kind of attitude that you have to be on the go the whole time, and that there isn't time just to chill out or take time out, and if you're not doing something, you're missing out.
The main problems, I'd say, are probably crime, just not feeling safe.
I think the crime. I think that the crime's a huge problem with city life.
I think we should be trying to encourage more sort of green transport, so cycling, and encouraging people to walk and use their cars less.
I think there's not much that you really can do about crime because I think it's a social issue. So if people are you have to kind of address why people are committing crimes before you can do anything about it.
I think a city's a city. You either want to live in a city or you want to live in the countryside or by the sea, and I think it's your choice.
I love technology. I enjoy reading about new gadgets, and I spend a lot of money on technology. I couldn't live without my mobile phone because I plan my life with it, or without my MP3 player because I love listening to music. How about you? How do you feel about technology?
I love technology.
For what I do, I'm probably quite a technophobe because I'm a designer, so I have to use a computer every day. And I only learned how to use a computer when I was 19.
Oh, I love technology. I love computers, and I love Twitter, and I love mobile phones. I love it. I love technology.
I've got lots of gadgets. I wouldn't know what to do without my laptop.
I hate technology. I find it frightening and disturbing.
I use technology because I have to.
I am definitely not a technophobe. I have learned to love technology, very much so in my job.
I love technology a lot. You know, everything about it, like new gadgets, you know, computers, things like that.
I have a mobile phone and I do have an iPod, but I'm probably the only person I know who doesn't own my own computer.
Oh no, I sort of have every latest gadget as it comes out.
What items of technology do you have with you at the moment?
I've got my mobile phone in my pocket and my laptop's just in my filing cabinet in the office over there.
I have my mobile phone with me, and my mobile phone is connected to Twitter.
I have an iPad, but it's not charged, so that's why I'm not using it.
At the moment, I just have my mobile, that's all.
At the moment, I have my mobile phone on me, MP3 player.
My laptop.
Just my mobile, but I have two.
An e-book reader, and a laptop, and an iPod, and so lots and lots of gadgets.
Are there any items of technology you couldn't live without?
I couldn't live without my computer. Why not? Because I'm on it all the time. It broke down once for 3 weeks and I felt like my husband had left me. I'm not even married, but I was devastated, so no, I couldn't live without my computer.
I couldn't live without my laptop. I could probably live without my phone. I quite like leaving it turned off for a while, but the laptop's essential.
I really couldn't live without my iPod, my mobile phone, of course, and computer. Yeah, everyone needs a computer nowadays.
My phone, and I think beyond that, I don't need anything else.
My mobile phone, that would be the only one, and maybe the TV.
I don't think I could live without my mobile phone, and I couldn't live without the computer, and I couldn't live without the internet because I depend on them.
I like reading about famous people and finding out about their lives. But I wouldn't want to be famous myself. I'm happy being a normal person doing a normal job. How do you feel about fame? Would you like to be famous?
Oh, I would love to be famous.
Not particularly. I like to keep to myself. I'm a fairly private person.
No, I wouldn't like to be famous.
No, I don't think I'd like to be famous.
I think I would, but not too famous.
No.
No.
No, I wouldn't like to be famous. I think that people are too obsessed with fame, too interested in fame these days.
It's not something I actively look for, no.
I'm not sure about that. I would like to be a bit famous, but I wouldn't like to be really, really famous because you just don't have time on your own anymore.
I'm not sure. I think it's very easy to get obsessed with the good things that fame can bring, like the free gifts and the doors opening for you and all that kind of side of things.
When I was younger, I used to want to be an actor, and I thought, yeah, being famous would be great. But now, I'm not so bothered.
What would you like to be famous for?
I'd like to be famous for doing something new and exciting.
These days, I'd like to be famous for doing something worthwhile, I think, for either sort of charitable work.
Maybe being a model.
I'd like to be well known as a graphic designer, but that's not real fame.
If I were to be famous, I would like to be famous for an amazing invention, I think, or for perhaps a medical cure, something to cure cancer.
I suppose directing films, if I was going to be famous for anything, that would probably be what I'd like to be famous for.
I prefer to be anonymous. I like anonymity when I'm in the street.
Which famous person would you most like to meet?
I'd love to meet Barack Obama.
At the moment, I'd probably like to meet the President of the United States, Barack Obama.
Maybe Misha Barton. because she does loads of different things, and I think she's really pretty, and I like her style.
I'd like to meet Bob Dylan. I really like his music. I don't know what I'd say to him, but I think I'd like to meet him.
Famous person I would most like to meet, probably quite vacuous. It'd probably be Johnny Depp or somebody like that, because he's really good looking.
I would like to meet Johnny Depp because I enjoy his movies a good deal.
I think I'd like to meet Reynold Fiennes, just generally because of what he's done, his sort of Arctic exploration, and the fact that he's been able to go where other people haven't.
I'd love to meet a famous explorer. If he was still alive, I would really like to meet Edmund Hillary.
I would like to meet the Dalai Lama and Fidel Castro.